Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I do apologize for my 15 minutes delay. Long story short, and the truth, of course, I overslept because I always go for a nap before the live stream. For me, as many of you may know, it happens in Europe. I mean, I do live in Europe, and the live stream takes place at 3 a.m. Okay, so 8 p.m. EST is actually 3 a.m. My time. So I do take a couple of hours of a nap before the live stream take place, and I overslept. So Pisces Moonbeam had to wake me up before you go. Anyway, uh, my puny attempt to make a cover of it. So tonight's God damn it. Okay, so tonight's show, it's about the week that it is in front of us, which is April 24th up until April 30th, 2022. 2023. I'm sorry. Shakti, welcome to the live stream. Oh, Shakti, and also Yasmin, thank you for the $20 as well. The stream haven't even started yet. Nah, you already made a contribution. Thank you for the $20 PayPal support. Let me put you into the list. Of course, at the end of the stream, you are gonna have your personalized reading for the week that it is coming up. Thank you, Yasmin. Right, so first things first. Thank you, Yasmin. First things first, the collective reading, which is displayed on the thumbnail itself. By the way, the thumbnail has an error in it. I said March, or rather like I typed March instead of April. That's what happens when you don't have a full-time job. It's just you mix time. I barely, or rather like I find it very difficult to keep track of what day it is. Thank God I have the watch though. So it's for April, not for March. But the collective for the week, the first one, that is Three of Wands. Afterwards, that will be the Five of Cups. Hello, Melissa. And the third one for the week, that will be the Ace of Wands. All right, so we do have these three cards. And it will be a good week, right? In a sense of that the week will present us with at least one not Jasmine, it's Yasmin. Okay, so we do have two of with the same name. It kind of like gets confusing. Okay, one is with J, the other is with U. Okay, or not with Y. Hello, Michelle. Welcome to the stream. All right, so the upcoming week, guys, we are gonna have at least a one gainful enterprise in front of us, which most likely is going to be referring to business-wise and career-wise as well. It's a bit unlikely to happen in relationship field, like our love life, because for what those cards are showing, the thing that it is stepping on, right, like Oh my god. Hold on a second, I gotta change my camera software. Just give me a minute, right? Just give me a minute. All right, I hope I'm visible now. And so the thing that it is stepping on, okay, it has a quite of a established pattern. It has a quite of an established foundation, right? So it doesn't make sense to be a gainful enterprise in terms of a long-term relationship unless it's a, I don't know, something that you guys planned for a very, very long time and kind of like established its consistency, its patterns, like I said, its foundation, and so on and so forth. And finally, you went for it. It kind of makes sense that if that is you decide to purchase a house, you did it for a long time ago, and now finally this week presents you with the opportunity to do so. So for that reason, most likely it refers to the career, it refers to the business, and it will regain, right? So it's going to the enterprise itself is going to regain the hope, into the future. So that said, it will affect a field of our business or of our love life that we have been disappointed thus far for its dryness, for the arid environment, that there is nothing out there for us. Well, it's gonna come around into the upcoming week. So those of you looking for work, very likely that you will find one that will be quite gainful, right? Into the upcoming week. Those of you looking for an opportunity, you're gonna have one, and it's going to be quite gainful, right? And challenging as well. That is something I do forget to mention here, because it's gonna take efforts, it's gonna take toil to make it happen and to sustain its results. So long story short, that was about the week, and now we are a few notes about the show before I move forward. Oh, a second. All right, so a few notes about the show before I go forward. What we're going to do here, or what I'm going to do, is to make 12 readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And after that, I am going to do the super chat readings. Anyone who decides to support the stream and the channel through PayPal or super chat, the PayPal link you can find in the description down below, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And if your super chat doesn't carry on any inquiry, the reading is going to be about your personal experience throughout the week. So how that week is going to be for you, the upcoming one, April 24th to April 30th. And if your super chat is $20 or above, the reading is going to be that very same format, the elemental dignities that I did for the star signs, and that I'm going to do for the star signs. Of course, if you do wish to have your own personal reading with me, you can go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below, and there at the very front page you can see full list of my services and also their pricing. So let's get to Aries now and see what the RAM is, what kind of a week the RAM is about to have. All right, first one for Aries, Judgment. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the stream. Followed by the High Priestess. And the final card for Aries, that will be the King of Pentacles. So, for you, Aries, the week will be a breakthrough week, in a sense that at some point throughout the week there will be an alignment of the circumstances, for lack of a better word. It's kind of like the whole pieces of thy puzzle, your puzzle, is gonna pretty much snap together, and that will be the moment where you are gonna know what you gotta do and what direction to take, all right, and what to say, for example, and whom you should relate yourself with, and so on and so forth, whatever your situation here is all about. But the bottom line is that this interaction in between the Judgment and the High Priestess is a huge stir, right? It's a huge stir. And if up until this point, you had super uneventful experience, that's gonna change big time, and that is going to be the feel that these cards are affecting you. So if you had a super uneventful experience in your love life, that is where it hits you, all right? In your love life, the pieces of your circumstances, they fall together, and it is going to be the moment where you are gonna know how you fit in all this, okay, and how you can make a relationship, whom is the person who is interested in you, right? If you are single, that is. And in generally, you will have an answer. Even more than that, you're gonna have a call for what to do. And same thing refers as well to your career. And what's gonna boil down to, okay, is how far you can go by yourself, right? Because this week, that's going to be some kind of a premonition that you will have, some kind of an insight that's is going to come to you. That, yeah, I mean, you can use the help of friends, right? You can use the help of colleagues. You can use the help of your family, let's say. But at the end of the day, personal results measure based on a personal effort, right? Personal contribution. And so it seems that you are going to restrict, constrain, for lack of a better word, the infiltration that you may be experiencing up until this point by those entities. And thus you will become a lot more independent than before. Jasmine, thank you for the $20 support. Thank you, Jasmine. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading for the week. All right, moving next, that will be Taurus. First one, the Hermit. Followed by... Yeah. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Two of Swords. And the third one, that will be the Hangman. It's pretty simple for you, Taurus. It's going to be a star for you, but unlike Aries is one which is going to be quite, I don't want to say forceful, let's put it that way, dynamic, and with a lot of the with a high sense of emergency, right? You gotta do it now at this moment, now or never kind of thing. You make it or break it, and so on and so forth. Your star will be more peaceful, for lack of better words, because that's, my friends, is going to be the week where it's gonna shine for you. All right, it's going to pretty much, yeah, it's gonna shine for you. What is important and substantial, right? Hold on a second. So yeah, I mean, you are experiencing delays somewhere, or kind of like, it's even more than delays. It's like lack of movement at all. No matter what you do, nothing happens. Okay, you try your best, and just it has no progress, career-wise, let's say, or has no progress love-wise, let's say. Well, that's the week where you will see why. You will understand why that's the case. And what is important for you to do, what is substantial and essential for your love life, for example, in order to move forward. Or what is substantial and essential for your career to move forward. But unlike for Aries again, you get to perform, to make the performance, to do the contribution on your terms, while Aries is, they have a call that they need to answer. All right, it's not their terms there. Anyway, for that reason, you know, it's a light at the end of the tunnel is gonna shine for you guys, and the light is gonna be blinding, right? It's gonna be blinding. It's just is gonna hit you. Oh my god, you know, that is where I gotta focus on. I mean, that is the how could you call it, the link in the chain is why I can't make any progress. So that's something I gotta pay attention to. What is very usual with these cards is that Tao defines a new movement, kind of like Tao defines a new code of conduct, or a new direction that Tao takes. Okay, and not everyone is happy with thy choices. It's just people pretty much take care of themselves first and foremost, and now you are going to do pretty much the same. Because Instead of addressing, you know, your environment emotionally, now this time around, you will do it intelligently and wisely. And wisdom and emotions, they have nothing to do with one another. In fact, they don't get hand to hand very well. And it's just, you know, certain people will have no incentive to be around you anymore. And so you can consider that week as well as kind of like a lie detector, right? But instead of being detector for lies, it's a detector for a true friends and true companions. Anna, thank you for the $20 support. Thank you, Anna. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. Let me put you into the list. All right, next, Gemini. Queen of Swords for Gemini, followed by the Three of Cups. And the third one is going to be the King of Cups. Those three cards, it's a bit of conjecture that happens for you that week, Gemini. So we do have the week revolves around the person that for one or another reason has an influence in your life, and that person has an offer to make you. Okay, an offer. It could be an offer for a relationship. It could be an offer for a job, for example, or just something mutual. It is. And while the individual itself considers you being the, so to speak, the perfect fit, it seems that just recently, okay, and I'm saying just recently, you do not exactly see eye to eye over the situation for one or another reason. Something changed. And now they see you more as not like as a liability, right? But instead of, they do see you more as a competition than an ally. I don't know why. I mean, it will depend on the offer that it is to come about, and that kind of makes them a bit pissed off. So that is how you will recognize that person. Up until this point, they were very calm, very confident being around you, and now it's kind of like they're a bit agitated. They're a bit like on the edge, right? Their nerves are scraped down, and it's kind of like they cannot be calm around you for one or another reason, or especially as a certain topic is brought up. That's where you understand that this person takes you more as a competition than an ally, friend, or a partner. So if money are involved, it goes without saying, you know, just be careful with them, because under the energy of the Queen of Swords, I mean, that guy or that woman, whatever the case, they are willing to do anything to get their ways. So if you can stay out of their way, that would be for the best. You may think that it is some kind of a, I don't know, a runaway, right? That you are fleeing from battle. Believe me, that is a battle you don't want to take. Because if it is all or nothing, I mean, they are going to bet the all instead of folding it off. Okay? And it's risky. So why would you bother? It's the question. If it is only about the ego, again, don't bother. But yeah, definitely you will be surprised, kind of like recognizing that you do not see eye to eye with that person this week. All right, that was for Gemini. Now moving next, we do have Cancer. Taco, thank you for the 22 US dollars. Thank you, Taco. The end of the stream, you will have your reading. Death. Followed by the Ace of Swords. And the final one, that will be the Eight of Wands. So these three. That we have. Give me a sec. That will be a week where the situation is going to prove itself very different from what you thought it was. Right? Bottom line here is that the truth of the matter, right? The truth of the matter, the truth of the facts, it's not what you thought. So within the week itself, it's very likely that you are to have more than just only one, a honest and open conversation with your boss per se, you know, with your colleagues per se, with family members, or even with your love people, like love person, if you do have one, you know, if you are in a relationship, because what is going to become pretty obvious, right? It's going to be actually eye gouging rather than just only obvious, is that certain aspects just cannot be any longer. Right? For example, certain behaviors of a family member, they just can't continue. And that matter should be brought on the table. It should be raised as a subject, for lack of better expression here. It's just, it cannot be tolerated anymore. Bottom line is that this will be a week where a certain relationship that you do have, it doesn't have to be just a love one, all right? It could be business partnership or a family relationship. Its nature must change. And the process is going to start within this week, okay? And what can be guaranteed by these cards, one way or the other, it's going to be beneficial for you. Now, is it going to be beneficial for the other side? I cannot say, but it's going to suit you any way it ends. Even if it ends by having no relationship, by the point where that happens, you will have something to substitute it for, right? If, for example, a business partnership is to end, you are going to have at that point, while it's ending, a new business partnership to replace the ending one. Or same thing goes for the love life as well. So you definitely ain't going to lose anything from that thing. In fact, it's just a win because it burns a bridge with a, I don't want to say toxic, but let's say at best a awkward and unhealthy relationship. It breaks it up next week. All right, that was for Cancer. Now a couple of minutes, guys, before I move to the next 4 star signs, which are gonna be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and then Scorpio. After that, another little break. After that, the last 4 star signs, and then the super chat. Anyone who decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you are gonna have your reading at the end. That's pretty much guaranteed. Hello, Torrid. First time seeing you around. I do draw cards only for the super chat contributors at the end of the stream. That is at the stream per se, you know, but you can always opt for a personal reading, such you can purchase at my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. How is your recovery going, Taco? Is it improving? Oh, that practice is no longer in place. All right. All right, next, Leo. Wow. I don't know, you know, we do have an expression here in Bulgaria that is actually bringing up the devil's attention on you. But if that's your thing, I mean, going for a hike in the Mojave Desert, by all means. You know, mate, you never fail to surprise me. Every time. In a good way, that is. All right, Leo, we do have the King of Swords. Well, what is that? Page of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Pretty simple for you guys. The week revolves around an individual or an entity. Okay, it could be an entity. And while this individual or that entity has a thing for you, another thing I mean preference, it's strictly business, right? It's strictly business. They help you because for some reason, even maybe you do not knowing it, you do contribute for their wellness. You do contribute for their good, right? You do contribute for the easiness of their move forward, you know, of their day-to-day routine, of their business, you name it, depending on where that whole thing kind of like manifest itself into. So do not make the mistake to think that they do it out of their good, out of their goodness of their soul. Okay, they're doing it because they do benefit for it. The question is, what are they doing? Well, they are solving problems. They are solverizers. So what most likely is going to happen is that throughout the week, whatever issue you do face, and this is a cluster of issues, right? Issues that are polluting a field of your life, say, and issues which are polluting your love life, and issues which are polluting your business or your career. So with that individual, or they primarily, are going to make a quite effective strategy how to find your way through those difficulties and actually start growing. And exactly that growth helps them in any way, right? So it's a mutual benefit. And yeah, I mean, you may find yourself being grateful to them, okay, that they are going to take you off from the rock bottom per se, okay, but they do benefit from it as well. So don't kind of like overkill the gratefulness, because at the end of the day, even without you knowing it, you are gonna pay for it, right? Should that be about romantic relationship? Because that's not something that it is out of the question, right? They may need that relationship. Primarily, they are going to be attracted to you by your physical appearance, right? That is the primary attraction here, and they really need that relationship. So they're going to have a relationship whether with you or someone else, okay? But it's better to be with you, at least at that particular stage. But again, do not mistake their interest for a devotion. That will be the grave mistake that you may make. So they can burn it down anytime, or as soon as you do stop being a contribution. It's all about you contributing for their well-being or for their agenda, for lack of a better word. Of course, they will contribute for yours as well. So that is the primary topic of your week, at least according to these cards. Moving next, Virgo. No, not the devil is in the desert. We do have that expression in our country. It doesn't sound well in English, but it says, you know, just don't don't pull the devil by his tail, because the devil is looking elsewhere, you know. And for example, in your case, when you are recovering and making such an extreme kind of like acts, you are pushing it, you know, you are pushing it. And while the devil is looking in another direction, you are challenging the circumstances, and you say, so he kind of like, he or she, that is, kind of like challenges me to show them that it's not the time. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it makes sense in Bulgarian, right? So for Virgo, the Hierophant, with the devil speaking about him, and the third one, that will be the 10 of Pentacles. these 3 cards for all of you guys, Virgo. And a week of satiating. So you will to satiate your hungers. Per se, if you are, say, hungry for money, the week will present you ways of making money. You're hungry for love, the week will present you ways to make love. If you are hungry for interactions with other human beings, you know, relationships, friendships, the week will present you with an opportunities to make such as well. What will be, though, the circumstances? Well, I can only describe them to you, right? So no matter what you are to be given an opportunity to have, because that will be a week of an acquisition, for lack of better words, for you. The circumstances are going to be just so that, yes, you will acquire, but without this acquisition to carry on any attachment. So you will be pretty independent to detach, to peel yourself off of it, to relinquish whenever you see no reason to be in it anymore. So you can relinquish from that friendship at any time, right? Or from the contract, or whatever the case, okay? But the more interesting aspect here is that the way that those things are going to happen, all right? The way that these opportunities are going to show up for you. The way that the whole thing is going to manifest will completely correlate with your beliefs, right? So that said, if it is about you, the opportunity for you to make love, if that is what you are hungry for, right, the opportunity will be exactly the way you want it to be, right? Exactly the way you believe love should be made, with the person that you can build up trust, mutual reliability, and so on and so forth. All right, so it's kind of like, if we can say that there are a perfect circumstances, the perfect storm, so to speak, so one thing can be accomplished, well, it's, you have it here, Virgo. Yeah, I get it, mate, but going into the Mojave, while you are still recovering, right? Anything could happen. I mean, it doesn't have to be in regards to your condition. In a bad faith, you may kind of like twist your ankle or anything like that, fall somewhere. It's a necessary risk. This is what the parable says, all right? It's just an unnecessary risk you're taking. Anyway, that's my opinion, though. Libra next. Ten of Pentacles for Libra. With Temperance. And the Empress. Give me a second here, guys. It's an important week that you will have in front of you. This week is gonna carry on a ripples, right? A ripples which will affect your near future. Isn't just only about the week. The week is just the start of it, of a process that we have. And that's why it's important that I do translate it for you, right? That Temperance here. yeah, it's, well, the main topic of the week, right? The main course, so to speak, is going to be you making plans, you deciding how to proceed with your future, and the majority of the know-how will be in your hands. So that week, don't be surprised, Libra, if you do feel the necessity, all right, to kind of like withdraw, right, to take a few days off from your marriage, from your business, from your job, or even from your social circle, from your family, that is, so you can kind of like don't be affected by the circumstances, because it's going to be very important that you do make a very well found and balanced decision how to move forward. Now, this withdrawal doesn't mean anything in a term of are you going to make it or break it. It means very much more, or very much so per se, that it's for a reason that you are objective about what you are to do moving forward in the future, because the decision itself and the plans that you are going to make, they must be objective. And you can't be objective if you are into the midst of activities, right? If you are currently affected by a crisis at your work, you can't be objective about it. If you are currently affected by a crisis in your love life, you can't be objected by it. So you gotta kind of like detach for a few hours or for a few days. You gotta detach from those midst of activities. What is at stake here? It's your independence and as well your comfort, but that temperance being next to the Ten of Pentacles, it kind of speaks for the more compromising decision, or the more compromised decision you make, right? So you make a compromise with yourself, you make a compromise with your goals, you make a compromise, with the method, whatever compromise you do make, the more dependent you are gonna latch yourself into the future. So the more drastic your plans are, the more drastic your decisions are, okay, the better personal status you will acquire. But that personal status may be kind of like, what I mean is that it's going to affect you personally, right? It may not be that good of a thing for those around you. So that's why it's going to be a crucial into the upcoming week that you take every single fact under consideration. Because having those cards, they're very similar to justice, right? But having those cards, they are one thing is certain here, right? That is that whatever you sow, you ought to reap, whether bitter or sweet, in the future. Okay, it's yours to eat it and to chew it up and swallow it down. So you may want to make sure that your harvest, it's the fruits of that labor, are going to be something you really want to eat. All right, next we do have Scorpio. Ace of Wands for Scorpio. The Tower. Four of Cups. This is like hide and seek, okay? Where the Scorpio is hiding from the dynamic that their life needs. And the week is gonna be come out, ready or not. I am coming. Yeah, I mean, I am coming. You ready or not? So whatever we do try to avoid in any way, okay, it's happening into the upcoming week. And don't get me wrong, guys, it's gonna be with the very positive effect, nurturing and cleansing effects upon our lives. It's just the happening itself, because it's happening under the influence of the Tower and the Four of Cups, right? Maybe it's not under the best circumstances, or kind of like the best timing, for lack of a better word. So say, let me give you a quick example of it, right? So say we are avoiding, I'm saying we because I'm Scorpio as well, for those who doesn't know me. Say we are avoiding people because we do not believe anymore in love, right? And we are avoiding people, we don't want to get to know anyone, and so on and so forth. So we consciously are trying not to get involved. Well, then in that case, that will be the week where you will have, we as a Scorpio, we are gonna have a crush on someone, whether we like it or not, right? Whether we are ready for it or not. Actually, truth be told, with those cards, the universe doesn't give a dime whether we want it or whether we are ready for it. It's happening one way or another, right? It's just, it's beyond us. And the more we struggle against it, the worse the situation actually will become. But by its nature, this happening, this event, right? This devastating circumstances, because they will be devastating, right? They will show us actually how weak we are, how weak we are, how can I put it into words? How puny it's our influence on the events around us. So this happening is going to have a very productive, very gainful expression, and basically, what is the word here? Impact on our life in general. So that is another reason why we should not fight it out, right? And definitely the slack, the boredom, and the lack of activity in general, it ends in the week 24th to 30th of April 2023. Definitely ends. And many things are gonna come with it as well, right? So we are gonna, some of us are gonna find a new self of themselves, right? Others are gonna find a new muse, a new hobby, a new line, a new venue of action, and so on. So it will be quite interesting, but the very start of it may happen to be quite shocking for many of us. 7 inches, I don't know the inches, so that is about 16 centimeters, like that thing, right? 16 centimeters, it's that big, isn't it? It is, yeah, it's gonna be like you know, Pisces Moonbeam, it's in a few movies, but imagine that situation. Let's say the faith is your mother and you are a Scorpio who is whining constantly, all right? Your mother is saying, well, get up or your ass from the couch and go out and start meeting people. Oh, I am going to be betrayed, you say. Why should I go out when people are so kind of like, not jealous, but what is the word here? Surreptitious and etc., and you whine and whine, and at the end you get a slap. You know, you get a slap to kind of like sober yourself, and that slap is going to be the Tower itself. I have no sense of of a measure when it comes to Scorpios. In my country, we don't have Scorpios. I never saw one in Rio, right? And I don't know these black scorpions, how big they become, because I think the Egyptian scorpions are the largest, which are these black scorpions, really, really large. But yeah, I mean, the universe, if the universe is your mother, is gonna slap you out on the cheek. Half a centimeter is nothing. Half a centimeter is less of a quarter of an inch, right? That is half a centimeter. It's less of a quarter. It's like, I don't know. Because 1 inch is 2.4 centimeters. It's 24.5 millimeters, right? Which is 2.4 centimeters. It's 1 inch. Sagittarius. Two of Pentacles for you guys, followed by the King of Cups. And the last one, that will be the Hierophant, right? So those three, pretty simple reading for you, Sagittarius, for us, because I do have a stellium in Sagittarius. So that will affect me. Okay. It's a good week, right? It's a good week because for what those cards are showing, that will be a week where we are going to be to have an offer, right? Some kind of an activity that's going to come our way. It's going to be an offer from a friend or from a person or from an entity. And while the offer is good by its nature, it kind of, the circumstances itself, how can I put it into words? Well, it wouldn't matter much, right? It's just the offer itself wouldn't matter much. Maybe it come a little bit too little too late, right? Or maybe it's already, how can I put it into words? It's a filler, right? There is no other way how to put it into words. According to these cards, that offer comes and it's gonna feel like a filler and a bit inconvenient as well, filler, because in order to take full advantage of the offer, whatever that offer is all about, we will have to change or rearrange, for lack of better words, some of our plans, right? So some of our deeds, if you will, some of our day-to-day routine. There is no need to deny the offer though, and through that change, little by little, kind of like the change of the concepts and the standards, little by little we are going to start seeing the world in a different perspective as well. So yeah, while the offer is just a filler, it's going to push you, us Sagittarius, to kind of take some, let's put it that way, a necessary steps in order to refresh our lives in pretty much any field whatsoever. But other than that, the week is going to be rather very calm, and it's a week that emphasizes on, how can I put it into words, how we believe things should be made and how we believe things should be done. And those beliefs could reshape themselves. What I mean is that the outdated beliefs are going to give way to the new aligned beliefs and concepts, which are going to help us to face what the future holds, what the present holds, with a much more bare and with much more subtlety than before. But yeah, it's an offer that is going to, long story short, it's an offer that is going to make us think twice how we want to take it. All right, next, Capricorn. Ace of Wands, the first one. A Knight of Swords is the second. And third card for you guys, that will be the Ace of Cups. You are gonna hate it, all right? You are gonna hate it, because it's better for me to describe you the situation, okay? So let's say you wanna, there is another person involved, and you want to take an opportunity with that person. Like, for example, you do have a similar a common project that you both are running right now, and you both, of course, want that project to kind of grow. And that week, this person will suggest to you, or they are straight away gonna tell you how the project is gonna grow. And you will know in the bottom of your heart what they're saying. It's right. It's undeniably efficient. It's the truth, right? That's basically, you can't revoke it, and you are gonna hate it, because I don't know, maybe they're gonna rub some salt on the wound. I don't know what went in between you two, but the way that is going to kind of like happen, it's, you will feel like you are giving way. You will feel like you are giving up a territory, you are giving up a position, you are giving up a kind of like a piece of yourself even, right? So reluctantly, if you do want the whole endeavor to move forward, you will have to put your chin down and silently agree, okay? That's the best you can do. You just silently agree with it. You don't have to make a big deal of it. If you don't make a big deal of it, they ain't gonna make a big deal of it, and things can roll over, things can snowball from there, because they do have the potential to snowball. It's that initial push of the ball, it's not gonna come from you, right? So don't fight it, all right? Just don't fight it. Go along with it. That is going to be the main topic of your week. Oh yeah, that'll be magic. Welcome to the stream. Moving forward, Aquarius. the Hierophant, the Knights of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. All right, so that may play out very, very specifically, right? It could play out very, very specifically. So what those cards are showing here is that there is an individual around you, or an entity that is, which is finding you very important. They wish to have you around. I don't know how to put it in other words, because they do find you guys as a very essential part of, for lack of better expression, of their life. For example, a business finds you a very essential part of the business, or a person finds you very essential part of their social circle, okay, or a person finds you very essential part of their love life. And that will be the week where they will want to know why things cannot happen, why there is a obstacle in between you two, why you cannot go the same way at that particular stage, right? And the answer shall be given. And many of you Aquarius, under a deliberation, actually not the mutual deliberation, that is, will find out that there is no why. I mean, there is actually, in the real world, in the material world, there is actually no obstacle. And should that happen in your love life, I mean, you do have an incentive, you do have an opportunity, Aquarius, to have a very long-term and stable relationship that can come out of this, right? So should that be the week where you do start dating, you should know that it's, I put it into words, you can put your faith in it, so to speak. Tiona, thank you for the $10 super chat support. Thank you, Tiona. You're going to have your reading at the end of the stream, so make sure that you do stay a little longer, because the end of the stream is nigh. Thank you. All right, next, actually last but not least, we do have Pisces. Queen of Cups with Justice. With Knight of Pentacles. It's a true friend that you're gonna have, right? So that will be for you, Pisces, the week where you will find yourself alone no more, all right? That will be the week where someone is gonna step out, someone is gonna step out for you. Doesn't matter if you are right or wrong. That is no relevant to them whatsoever. What is relevant for them is that they have you under their wing, for lack of a better word. And while, you know, internally, they may kind of like criticize you, right? They may make you pay in any way. Externally, in front of the world, I will stand firmly behind your back. So that will be a week where you will enjoy a very solid support. Okay, and that's not just only going to be support through an influence, but also a support through performance. So that person or an entity is going to make a steps to fix the issue, no matter how big or small that particular issue is. And also what those cards are showing here is that doesn't matter your righteousness, okay, those steps that the entity or the person is going to take, they will be effective, very, very effective, right? So let me give you an example here. Let's say that that's going to be the week where you're going to face a legal issue, and those cards would mean that that will be, for example, a lawyer that doesn't care are you right or wrong in it. They do have a thing for you, and they will do anything of their power to get you out of that mess. And at least the initial performance that they're going to show up with will be very effective, right? Very, very effective. And that will be the main topic of your week. Other than that, in the material world, on a very personal level, that will be quite an uneventful week. Things are gonna go forward as they are supposed to, right? As they are planned to go forward. All right. So that was for the 012, and now going for the super chat. Let me get the deck for personal readings. Hold on a second. I'll just die in your arms tonight. Must have been something to share. Just die in your arms tonight. Right, Yasmin first. See what kind of a week you're gonna have, Yasmin. Oh, a very, very good one. Very good one, girl. Wow. I'm almost jealous of you having those cards. Now, give me a second. I'm going to show them to you in a minute. May catch up my breath for a minute or two. All right, Yasmin. Those are your cards. Okay. And according to them, that will be the week where you are going to establish a very strong hold, right? So you will build a stronghold in the society. And you will take your place there. And not just only that, but also you will secure that place for the times to come. So how that translates? Well, that could be the week where you ensure your existence in a specific company, in a specific social circle, right? Or in a specific team, without you having to depend on them. or on the person, or on the entity, you know, or whatever that thing is all about. So it's a unique, can I put it into words? It's a unique position where you get to take all the benefits, but whatever things go to shit, you can always say you are on your freaking own, right? You are on your freaking own. And it's these are a very, very unique circumstances, right? Aside from that, in its globality, for a lack of better word, the week will be very pleasant, right? It's actually the pleasantries are going to be how can I put it into word, extended even for a prolonged period of time. And so within that week, you can expect that the people you interact with, that will give you pleasure, and also, you know, the tasks that you will have to be a part of, they also are going to give you pleasure as well. Very, very pleasant week for you, Yasmin. Comes up. All right, next, Jasmine. All right, Jasmine, those are your cards. So what happens, Jasmine, is that within the week you are going to show a healthy skepticism, right? Toward a promise from a person that never comes, right? That is, for example, a promise from a colleague that's they are gonna help you, but that never happens, and they are always making one excuse after another, right? And this skepticism that you are going to show up is going to be very healthy on your behalf. I think that you are going to make here the executive decision. This is what I think, right? And that is what the cards are advising you. But you're going to make the executive decision here to kind of like pull yourself off the endeavor, because this person that it is promising you success, they are backstabbers, okay? They are a rogue, an assassin, in a figurative way of the word. What I mean is that first chance they have, they will burn you for that success to be theirs only, right? Or in another word said, what you hope that will be a gainful opportunity, right, and gainful progression, it will happen on your expense, unfortunately here. But that goes without saying that you can redirect your resources in a better direction, right? And that could be where it should come from your own personal choice. But in order to make that personal choice, you have to kind of like be one with yourself. So you really need to kind of like not shut down, I don't know how to put it into words, but you gotta kind of like restrict your connections, at least for a couple of days within the next week, so you can see the situations that you're involved in with other people clearly and objectively, right? So you will expose a traitor next week, that there's not, it's not like a personal agenda, right? But it's kind of like they're on a way of robbing you out from your success. All right, next, Anna. Let's see what your week is gonna be all about. All right, those are cards for you, Anna. That will be the week where you're gonna take things under control, right? With the cards say it is with your domain. If I have to guess, I would say with your living situation, like a house, home. It could also refer to business, but you are gonna take things under control. It seems that within this week you are going to, I don't want to say finally, but make yourself to do the decisive thing. Make yourself to do the decisive action moving forward. And I put it into words. There will be some people which are going to be displeased by your actions, but you shouldn't bother yourself with that. All right. So it's a huge week for you, Anna. A week where you will ensure the livelihood, your livelihood, and because I know that you do have children as well, the livelihood of your children as well. Okay, because they also fit within your domain. And also that's a week where you may receive some gifts, okay, that will come your door. I will be very curious to see if that's going to be if that's going to happen, okay. But once the week is over, Anna, you will be one step closer to your dream. All right, next, Taco. It's a kind of baffling. Give me a moment, Taco. All right, these are your cards, okay? And what they say is that the question why, that's very ambiguous, right? But that is the best way how I can describe it. The question why things are moving forward, things are going as good as they are, okay, is going to be lifted up, and you will basically gonna know why, right? You are gonna know why you are. I don't want to give a example with your current situation that I know about, because that will be me exploiting, right? And that's gonna be me manipulating. But per se, if things are going well in you making money, all right, you will know exactly why that's the case, and that will allow you to influence it and to manage it better, okay? But at the end of the day, for what those cards are showing here, it's gonna take a miracle. I mean, you will have to make colossal efforts, mate, okay, to worsen your state and to worsen your situation, okay? Because it seems that you have set yourself on a certain path that currently is rolling by itself. It is just in such a stage, but that it is moving by inertia, for lack of better expression. And no one can change it for you, at least thus far. Though the cards do have, it's more of a suggestion that if you can do something by yourself, you better do it that way, because if you rely on other people to do the job for you, they are gonna do a sloppy one, okay? So it's primarily a week of a solo performance, if I can say it that way, and a week where you cannot kind of like hope that people around you are gonna do a good job. I don't know how to put it the other way around. But it will be a successful week. Oh, and if you are facing certain crisis, okay, at least according to these cards, it's not as bad as it looks. That is like a hint, like a warning here. All right, next, actually last but not least, we do have Tiona. Thank you, Taco. Well, I certainly don't know what these cards are talking about, right? So you know better, and it seems that they hit a spot, right? The Hangman, Tiona, it's the first card with the King of Wands, right? Those two. So within this week, a flow of interaction that you do have in between you and another entity, okay, may abruptly stop. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you are falling for a guy, right? And you know that that guy is falling for you, okay? And you want to go out on a date, and you make it pretty clear that that's your intention. They make it pretty clear that that's their intention, but, right, they tell you that they can't quite do it yet because they have so much work to do. They have family issues that they have to solve first before they can entirely focus on dating you, so on and so forth. And kind of like, while the intention is going to be there are going to be out of hand circumstances that are preventing those intentions to come true. And you should stop pushing it. Okay, because what will happen if you pushing it, let's carry on with the example. If you pushing it every single day, right, you are calling that person, hey, how are you doing, you know, did you change your mind about me dating, and so on and so forth, you're going to piss them off, right? You are going to seriously piss them off. And while what could be a very fruitful, whether friendship, whether romantic endeavor. If you want, you can make it whatever you want, all right? You can make it even friends with benefits if that's your thing, whatever the case. What could be something a very fruitful, very what's the word here? Powerful, let's put it that way. You're gonna screw. I mean, they're gonna basically ghost you out. So bottom line is that that's gonna be the week where you're gonna reach the maximum you can do in interactions you do have with a person or with an entity around you, that the ambition you both have is similar, and also you do have a lot in common in Pisces Moonbeam is not around, I believe, anymore, Taco, so you can pick your person if you want to. Back to Tiona. So you have a lot in common into how you enjoy life in general. You do have the same poison, for lack of a better word. If you do like a certain type of music, they like the same type of music. If you like certain type of bars, they like the same type of bars. So you do have a lot of you can find a lot of happiness together. This is going to be the week where you're going to reach the end of the line of what you can do, right, to make that thing to happen. And now the ball is going to be in their turf, and you have to stop right there and wait for them to play the ball, right? So that will be simultaneously for you a week of test and a breakthrough. Is going to be a test because your faith and also your patience is going to be tested, and a breakthrough it is because you did everything you could. So Taco, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes for you to decide whom you're gifting that reading to. If not, I'm gonna just take it for gonna put it into words for a tip for the accurate reading. All right. You're welcome, Tiana. All right, we're doing the tip then. Thank you so much, Taco, for the tip. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be from me for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, contribution, and for your generosity as well. If you did like the show, make sure to subscribe for the channel, like the video, and if you think that those interpretations, this forecast for the upcoming week is going to help a friend of yours, relative, or someone you know, don't be shy to share the video, because that's a way how the channel could be popularized. All right, so with that said, we're going to see each other next time. I love you guys. Bye.